As stated, Judge Ratha Mokgoatlheng started this morning's proceedings in the Senzo Meyiwa Murder Trial in the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria with an apology for his much criticised comments about black lawyers. This after the Black Lawyers Association requested a meeting with him over these comments which he made in relation to the absence from court proceedings of Defence Counsel Adv Mngomezulu, whom the judge said he was not formally approached by the advocate and found this behaviour to be questionable. Mbekezeli Benjamin, Judges Matter Research and Advocacy Officer, joins us now for more. Mbekezeli, as always, thank you for your time. Welcome. Look, please give us more clarity around the roles as well as responsibilities of a judge in a trial.
Good afternoon, Alicia, and good afternoon to the viewers. Thank you for having us. Well, the role of the judge in legal proceedings is to make sure that the trial runs as efficiently and effectively as possible. He must make sure that the legal representatives who are in court, they present their cases in a procedurally fair way. So he must make sure that the state is able to present its case effectively, but also the defense lawyers are able to present their cases fairly and represent their clients fairly, and protect the rights of all people in the courtroom. But the most important thing, I think, is to uphold the dignity and respect of the courts. So he must make sure that everyone in court behaves orderly, and that they themselves, the judge, they also behave orderly. So they are basically the umpire in the court proceedings.
Let's expand on that, Mbekezeli. What do the ethical rules of conduct actually say about such behavior as well as utterances? I mean, there has been a few remarks in which the very same judge was seemingly said to be unfair to the defense counsel. I remember a heated exchange between him and Advocate Mngomezulu a while back, saying that she had shouted at him and she should have communicated like a professional. And we saw that the advocate had denied this, and of course the matter was never reported.
Yes, so the ethical rules for judges are laid out in the Judicial Code of Conduct as the primary tool, but also some of them are unwritten. They've been developed over a number of years that court judgments have spoken about judicial ethics. So one of the rules that are really important and are relevant in this situation is Article 5 and Article 9 of the Code of Conduct. Article 5 says that the judge must always act honorably when they are inside and outside of court. And then Article 9 is very specific and applies to court proceedings. And it says that, first of all, the judge must observe the commonly accepted rules of decorum. So the judge must behave themselves in a way that affirms the dignity of the courts, like I said. But secondly, the judge must also ensure that they pay respect to everyone in court, whether they are a litigant, whether they are a lawyer, whether they are a member of the general public. The judge must make sure that everyone's dignity is respected and they do not discriminate against anyone in the court proceedings. When it comes to how the judge may speak, sometimes court proceedings are robust, so we must draw a line between court proceedings being robust and the judge being firm in terms of how they control the court proceedings. And sometimes the judge can be firm on the lawyers because sometimes they also do their own thing. But at the same time, the judge must be respectful. They must speak to lawyers or the general public in a way that is respectful. And the comments that Judge Mokgoatlheng made on Wednesday were unfortunately below the standards that we expect of a judge like him, and were actually quite disrespectful, and it was good of him to actually withdraw and apologize.
And with that in mind, Mbekezeli, were there then proper legal as well as ethical grounds to file the judicial misconduct complaint against Judge Ratha, also in relation to that example about Advocate Mngomezulu and the heated exchange between herself and the judge?
Well, the heated exchange between Judge Mokgoatlheng and Advocate Mngomezulu, I think, was in the spur of the moment. They both did not conduct themselves in a way that we expect of people of their stature. So both sides were wrong in that instance. These comments from Wednesday, where Judge Mokgoatlheng spoke about black lawyers and said very disparaging comments about black lawyers, those comments could have been the basis of a judicial misconduct complaint, and it would have been in terms of Section 17 of the Judicial Service Commission Act, which says that the complaint is serious, but it's non-impeachable. So that is because he made mention of specific racial groups, and he said disparaging things about those racial groups. So he could very well have faced a judicial misconduct complaint.
All right. And to wrap off, Mbekezeli, now the judge did apologize, and I'm sure you heard in the clip, of course, at the start of the proceedings today. Does this then subsequently starve off that complaint? And if the matter goes ahead, what is the expectant process thereof? He did say that he apologized unreservedly if the manner that he spoke was intemperate, ill-advised or offensive.
Yes, again, we emphasize the comments were unfortunate, they were ill-advised, and like you said, they were wrong. What would have happened, and in terms of Section 17, again, one of the outcomes is that the judge must apologize in a public forum. We remember former Chief Justice Mokgoatlheng was ordered to apologize because his complaint was also a Section 17 complaint. So ultimately, it would have ended at the point at which the proceedings started this morning, with an apology that is made out in open court. So we think that it was good of Judge Mokgoatlheng to give that apology, to retract the comments as early as he did. That is leadership, and we hope that going forward, he'll be very careful about what he says and how he conducts himself in court.
Thank you so much for that. Mbekezeli Benjamin, the Judges Matter Research and Advocacy Officer.